story that ran in the media. I'll just pick one of them. This happens to be from CNN. The title is, Trump praises Libyan General Haftar as his troops march on U.S.-backed government in Tripoli. So my question is, what is the current U.S. position with regards to Libya? Are we supporting General Haftar, or are we supporting the current government of Libya?
We continue to support political solution led by the UN. Hassan Salameh has been working to bring all sides of the parties to the table in order to find a way forward in Libya. As far as Haftar, over time, we've engaged with multiple parties in discussions recognizing how complex the situation is in Libya and how all parties need to be on board for a solution forward.
Is the United States supporting General Haftar?
The United States supports a political solution in Libya.
Okay. Is it your understanding that Russia is supporting General Haftar?
I would say General Haftar has supporters from the international community.
Okay. Do those supporters also include United Arab Emirates?
We have engaged with United Emirates in order to talk about a political solution, recognizing the way forward is through a coordinated effort in Libya.
Is it your understanding that Russia and UAE have provided weapons to General Haftar?
Sorry, I cannot speak to that.
Okay. And are you aware or not if Saudi Arabia is supporting General Haftar?
Again, sir, I cannot speak to that.
Okay. After General Haftar's attack on the Libyan capital, the U.S. pulled some military forces out of Libya. Do we have any more U.S. forces in Libya?
DoD removed its forces and has not returned them.
I'm sorry, say that again?
DoD removed its forces and has not returned them.
Okay. Thank you. I'd like to end just this thing on Libya by saying I think it'd be good if Donald Trump and his State Department and Department of Defense got on the same page on Libya, because I'm just reading the same facts you are, and there are being conflicting signals sent by the President versus the Secretary of Defense and Secretary of State. So I'd like to ask now about civilian casualties. The 2018 National Defense Authorization Act required an annual report on civilian casualties resulting from U.S. military operations. Congress has also directed DoD to develop a strategy for reducing casualties. At the same time, we're seeing a number of reports from non-governmental agencies that contradict the numbers from the Department of Defense. So my first question is, what methodology does DoD use to track and investigate civilian casualties, particularly in Africa?
Okay. At the Department of Defense, we take civilian casualties extremely seriously. We take extraordinary measures in order to ensure that we avoid any harm to civilians in our operations. In the case of Somalia, we work closely with the partners as well as under the consent of the federal government of Somalia, and our attacks occur in al-Shabaab areas which are normally secluded with low civilian populations. Anything as far as our practices, I would say I'd be more comfortable talking about in a classified environment.
So if we could either get a classified briefing or a letter that sort of lays out the methodology DoD uses, would that be okay?
Sir, I'll follow up with you on that.
Okay. What methods does DoD use to measure whether your efforts to reduce civilian casualties are successful?
We undergo extensive analysis within our planning before we undertake any kind of operation, and then afterwards we continue to do a review of what occurred. We also welcome any reports from others as far as any allegations or concerns of civilian casualties, and we run those through thorough reviews. We also continue to review practices to ensure that we're appropriately dealing with this in the best manner. We hold ourselves to a very high standard and continue to put toward efforts.
If I could ask one last quick question. In the last 2 years, have civilian casualties in Africa from U.S. forces, have they gone up or gone down or stayed the same?
Sir, in the last year we published a 2018 CivCas report. Within that, we noted there's 2 civilian casualties which occurred in Somalia.
Okay, thank you. I yield back.